Howdy guys, my name is Tom of MTG Radio, and today is a good day because today we get to play some more Commander. Good old 4-man, we're going to be running it out with Alesha, who smiles at death. We're going to keep this hand. It is slow, but it has two of the strongest cards in our deck in Hero of Bladehold and Eldrazi Monument, so we're going to keep it together here. We're going to keep these cards, and we are going to showcase our general, which is Alesha, who smiles at death. So just like you, when I first saw Alesha, my first thought was, let's build a Reanimator deck. Because that's what she does. She reanimates things. And then I realized that deck was just not good. I didn't have any success with the deck, and it just really felt suboptimal. So we are playing Alesha, 2 in a red for a 3/2 with Pew Pew, First Strike. Now whenever she attacks, I can pay a white, black. If I do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. So this deck is made to utilize a second ability, but in a token form more than in a, hey, my deck can make suboptimal creatures. Sorry. So I guess since I keep mentioning it, I should get this out of the way first. We're going to be utilizing F8. As long as the lands are tapped and we cannot activate the ability for 0 left, we'll be audioing the turn. You'll see us tap out a lot. That's just to make the game go quicker. So when I first built Alesha, I built her as a reanimation deck. The idea being Alesha reanimates a bunch of 2 powerless creatures. This will be awesome. I'll be able to bring back Bone Shredders, and I'll be able to bring back Karmic Guides, and just have a bunch of fun doing that. The problem was all of my creatures had power 2 or less, which made them really lack in being imposing on in a game where creatures are usually 5/5, 6/6s or bigger. And on top of that, Alesha just had a really hard time attacking through people. She's a 3/2, even with First Strike, it's difficult to do. So we're going to play in other planes. We're going to play in Armillary Sphere. This is a 2-mana artifact which we can tap, sacrifice to search for 2 basic lands, put them into our hand, and shuffle. And because of this issue, I was just having a really difficult time not only keeping Alesha on the board because she's a 3/2, but going to utilize my deck. It would be really difficult to reanimate those creatures. It just ended up just not being fun, which is never a stance you want your deck to be in, of course. Our top left player is Sygg, Riverguide. White-blue for a 2/2 with Island Walk, and for 1 white, target merfolk you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. We have an early Illusionist Bracers, that's a 2-mana equipment from Gatecrash. Whenever an ability of equipped creature is activated, if it isn't a mana ability, copy that ability. You may choose 2 targets with the copy. We're going to pay 2 and sack this Armillary Sphere. We're going to grab a mountain and a swamp. We will play the mountain and tap and pass. We'll be forced to discard because of how Alesha works, which is really cool, we'll be able to discard something like Marsh Flitter here. Next turn we'll play Alesha, we'll be able to attack and then play like Coalition and then reanimate something. So we'll discard Marsh Flitter and we'll look to reanimate Marsh Flitter on the turn after next turn. Our top right player is playing Sigarda, Host of Herons. 2 green, white for a flying hexproof 5/5. That means that also grants the ability. Spells and abilities your opponent's control can't cause you to sacrifice permanents. Turn 3 Wave Crash Triton shows this is definitely a merfolk deck. 2 and a blue for a 1/4 with Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Wave Crash Triton, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature can't untap during its controller's next untap step. Funnily enough, our other Alesha deck just not playing Alesha. Pure Steel Paladin coming down, so we're going to be a Voltron version of Sigarda. We're going to have to really keep our eyes on this deck, because Voltron Sigarda is scary. So there's actually 2 options here. We could cast Alesha and reanimate the Marsh Flitter, or we could just cast Hero Bladehold. Hero Bladehold is one of the best cards in our deck, like by a country mile. And I'm really tempted to play it. We're on a video. Let's play the strongest card we can this turn. Let's just play this Hero Bladehold. And it'll probably get removed, but that doesn't mean that it's not great. Hero Bladehold coming down. So for 2 white, it's a 3/4 with Battle Cry, which means whenever it attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And whenever it attacks, put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. You might even be able to follow this up with an Assembled Legion, which would be pretty spicy. Now the Wave Crash could tap down our Hero Bladehold. You got me. If you got it, you got it, you know? Even if he goes for that play, it also leads us to another good play, which would just be Coalition Relic into Alesha on our next turn. Or Assemble Legion. Again, we'll figure it out. There's a lot of different routes to go on our turn 5. I like Assemble Legion a lot. I think it's a great spell, and it's definitely something we're looking forward to doing. It's It'll be interesting. Augury Adept's coming down. That's probably going to bounce our hero. 1 blue blue for a 2/2. Whenever it enters the battlefield, return to our creature to its owner's hand. It is going to bounce a hero Bladehold. Alright. You got me. So yeah, we'll definitely go Relic into Alesha then next turn. I think that should be fine. I am concerned about the Pure Steel Paladin. It does indicate that our top right player is playing a Voltron build. Voltron build, or a Voltron style of deck, for those that are uninitiated, is a style of EDH deck that is based around putting a bunch of equipment and enchantments onto a single creature. Barbed Shocker? Oh, shoot. Alright, 3 in a red for a 2/2. Whenever it deals damage to a player, that player discards all the cards in their hand and draws that many cards. We are going to be cycling our hand, which I guess is fine because we're playing Alesha, but still not exactly what we wanted to do that turn. So we lose our Eldrazi Monument, our Ponyback Brigade, our Coalition Relic, our Martin, our Clifftop Retreat, and our Hero Bladehold. Which is really disappointing because I wanted all those cards. Sigarda comes down. We can't target it. That is something that's going on. The good news is we did draw a Core Cartographer. I really like this card. It's 3 and a white for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a plains, put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. It'll block this Barbed Shocker, which is what we want to do right now. In fact, we're going to leave up this Swords of Plowshares as well. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, play the Mountain, 4 into Core Cartographer. We'll be able to search a library for a plains, put onto the battlefield tap, and shuffle our library. Alright. The good news is this we can also get non-basic planes. So we should be able to find an extra source of black here as well. So we'll just get the Scrubland into play. Now we have access to a bunch of... Oh, do you want the extra red for Perforos? No, let's just get the second black. We don't have many double black cards, but it'd be really awkward to draw Phyrexian Arena and not be able to cast it. So we'll grab the Scrubland into play tapped. We'll leave up Swords of Plowshares and we'll pass. Getting hit with Barbed Shocker actually just kind of nice for us. I wish it put a Haste Enabler into our graveyard, or drew us into a Haste Enabler, but you can't win them all. You know what? I forgot to hover over Pure Steel Paladin, a great rare from Mirror to Besieged. From New Phyrexia. White for a 2/2. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. And it's got Metalcraft. So equipment you control have equip 0 as long as you control 3 or more equipment. Our white-blue deck with only 1 plains, definitely probably hurting for white. At least it looks like it's hurting for white. This is also our first non-merfolk. But that doesn't mean that it's not part of a fish deck. So fish is the classic name for an archetype of just decks that try and... A blue-white deck that tries to win on tempo. It's a classic name for a classic deck, and it's actually pretty cool, so I'm excited to see what he goes for. We will not take this Barbed Shocker damage if we can prevent it. I really want to keep Perforos. I really want to keep Dictate of Heliod as well. Both those cards are very important for our deck to really kill our opponents, which is what I want to do when I play Commander. So we are going to block with our Core Cartographer if he allows us to. If he doesn't, we're probably just gonna Swords the Pure Steel Paladin, and then we'll draw another 5, which is okay as well. But I will 100% block, unless he's saying something about not blocking. Not this time. Plus, putting our Core Cartographer in the graveyard is also very good for us, because we can get it back out, and now we can get extra lands every single turn, which is awesome. Our opposing Alesha deck being a little chippy. I hope he can use this discard. If we had a worse hand, I would welcome it, but I really like this Perforos. It's going to be one of the best ways we can win this game. Oh, Blasphemous Act, you say? There we go. That's beautiful to see. Deals 13 damage to everything. That's really nice. Actually, that's great. That means next turn we can have... I commonly talk about setup turns. We're going to have a great setup turn. We'll be able to just go Perforos into Alesha, which is a mean as hell setup turn. It's going to be great. Up here's Soul Ring. We're going to see his commander come back this turn, actually. Which is scary, because it's a Voltron deck. And he's probably going to take the first crack at us. Which is extra scary, actually. Yep, Sigarda comes back down. Can't do anything about that. Hey, look, Karmic Guide. Actually, hey, look, Karmic Guide. I think we want to do that after we put Perforos on the battlefield. So we're going to play our commander. We're going to... I'm a dummy. Then we're going to cast Perforos afterwards for some reason. Just writing in chat that Tom is a confirmed dummy. Tom is a confirmed dummy. We missed 2 damage. But next turn, we should be able to deal lots of damage if Perforos stays and if Alesha stays. If at least Perforos stays, we get to go Guide, bringing back Ponyback Brigade, attack... No, Guide, bringing back Ponyback Brigade, and then Alesha bringing back Marsh Flitter, which is enough to deal tens of damage. Lots of damage, which is good. And be able to block the Sigarda, hopefully. Just really hope we're not dead this turn. Wouldn't be impossible to do. Our blue-white deck skipping their turn this time. Goblin Gardener coming into play. It's a 2/1 that when it dies, destroys target land. Okay. If our Sigarda deck leaves back the block, we could also just attack him and then Dictate a Heliod at instant speed. One of my favorite parts about Dictate a Heliod. And just try and get him. That's if we draw an untapped land, so we can also bring back something from the graveyard. This will be a pretty interesting turn. I really do want to go with the build up a bunch of tokens into Dictate a Heliod turn this turn if possible. But there is the... Oh, Sun Titan's coming down. Okay. Sun Titan brings back Pure Steel Paladin. Alright. We will be pathing this Sun Titan. There is no doubt. It does make our turn a little bit more weird, but that's alright. I wouldn't be surprised if we take 5. We're not taking 5? Nice. Because I would be shooting us for 5 immediately. Alright. I'm the one with the Perforos and the Alesha on the battlefield, but I will take not taking the damage. That's great. Alright, we will need to draw an untapped land if we want to go Swords, Karmic, and be able to bring back something from the graveyard, which we do. First things first, we're going to Swords of Plowshares as Sun Titan. Just not allowed to stay on the battlefield right now. It's not allowed. Alright. And then we're actually going to cast this Karmic Guide main phase 2. I didn't like how our top left player waited a long time after that. So we're definitely going to play Karmic Guide main phase 2 in case he has some sort of counterspell. If he has like a Cryptic Command, which just got a lot cheaper due to Modern Masters 2 coming out, I don't really want to walk into getting our creatures tapped and getting a spell countered. So we're going to attack the Dancing Skeleton. We're going to put Alesha's Trigger on the stack. We are going to bring back this Ponyback Brigade. Unless he has like a Purify the Grave or something. Does he have Condemn? By the way, he's going to erase our Perforos. Oh, that got us. You got me. We still get to bring back a Ponyback Brigade, which should be pretty good, especially with this Dictative Heliod in our hand. Which also means, can I send these guys this way? With the Dictated Heliod in hand, now I think I'm just going to wait to cast it at the end of somebody's turn, and then look to Breath of Fury to maybe kill somebody. I don't really want to keep adding more permanents to the battlefield. That's probably one of the best ways to make sure we lose this game. Not lose this game. One of the best ways to get ourselves really behind. What I mean by that is... excuse me. I don't want to keep adding permanents to the board, especially when our middle player, the opposing Alesha deck, seems to be has a lot more Wraths than we do. I don't want to just walk into a Wrath. We have a lot of good permanents on the battlefield. If we can dictate into Breath of Fury, we can deal a lot of damage out of nowhere that our opponents just won't expect. But we do need our permanents to stay on the battlefield, so I don't want to just play the Karmic Guide now. Our opponent now going to Ablation our commander. Remember when I said that the tuck rule is not in effect yet? The tuck rule is not in effect yet. So our commander no longer exists in the middle of our deck. That's okay. And by okay, I mean we can't do anything about it. We can't kill him now, I don't think. These are 4. This is 5. It'll be close. So Breath of Fury. 2 red for an enchantment. Enchant a creature you control. When an enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it and attach Breath of Fury to a creature you control. If you do, untap all creatures you control. And after this phase, there's no combat phase. It's a very, very, very cool card. Basically, it lets us get a bunch of combat phases out of a single turn, giving us multiple combat steps, which is just amazing every single time it happens. So I hope it happens, and we can just really stack on the damage. We might be able to... actually. Alright, let's see what happens here. Boltwing Marauder comes down. I just did some math in my head, and we might have a much better turn next turn than I thought we did. So we could also play Karmic Guide during our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Slayer's Stronghold. Give Hero Bladehold haste. Attack with that instead, which is super strong, especially with a Dictated Heliod in play. That's 3. That's 4, 8, 12 plus 5, which is 17. Plus 8, which is 25, plus 5. So we can deal 30 damage next turn. No, 32 damage next turn. Just close to lethal on somebody. And we'll see what happens. We're not going to take anything for granted. A lot of things can make that go wrong. Lean in a Boon is coming down. Artifacts you control have hexproof. Of note, there's also a Winding Canyons coming down. I love this non-basic. It's a land from Weatherlight. Taps, add a mana to your mana pool, and for 2 you can tap it. Until end of turn you may play creature cards or they add flash. Coming into play for our Sigarda player. Oh, and yeah, Boltwing Marauder. I should totally talk about this card. It's a 5 mana 5/4. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Very powerful spell. There's also the option of just casting Martial Coup. With the Dictated Heliod in hand and the Karmic Guide, I don't see it being a bad play either. Especially with the Sigarda Host of Herons on the battlefield. It gets rid of Piercesteel Paladin, it gets rid of Sigarda, it gets rid of Boltwing. We will lose a land, we will probably lose land in Goblin Gardener, but we'll get so many creatures on the battlefield, I don't think it's going to really affect us too much. I also just like getting the Sigarda off the battlefield. I think that's really strong and something we should strive for. But yeah, no matter what we're casting, it's dictated at the end of turn. Because it's got flash, and that's how flash works. And it resolves. Our mono blue player is F6'd. F6 is a key on that has an ability to MTGO, which means that you yield to everything, and that's what's going on for our top left player. All right. So which play does the most damage? We drew a Knight Captain Eos, which means we can start stacking soldiers to prevent combat damage. We have 9 mana, so we could Martial Coup for 7 after our attacks this turn. I kind of like that play too. Just put a bunch of guys on the battlefield, and then on the following turn being able to go like Karmic Guide, bring back Hero Blade, hold attack probably just for game. That seems really strong to me, so we're first going to Temple of Triumph. There's no reason to play Slayer's Stronghold right now. I really want to see what's on the top of our library so we can kind of sculpt our full plan this turn. Just having all the options is going to be really important for what we're doing. Right, Slayer's Stronghold gives a creature +2/+0, haste, and vigilance. A really important part of the Amulet Bloom deck, of all things. Are you going to keep messing with my day over there, Mono Blue? Okay, good. Captain of the Watch. That can stay on top. That can definitely stay on top. Let's go to attacks. So we're going to send the 4/4 at Dancing Skeleton. And actually, we can just send them all at the blue-white player who does Oblation to our commander and exiled our Perforos. That just seems like the best play here. Especially since this martial coup is going to get rid of both these players' boards anyways. It's a lot of damage. 16. Yeah, not a lot. Not that much in Commander. But it's a lot of damage from a single pony back brigade. Down to 25. Main phase 2. This doesn't resolve. We're not dead. It's just not the best for us. Alright, doing this for 6. Alright, looks like it's resolving. So Martial Coup is X white white. Put X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. He's going to be able to destroy a land. He can destroy the Winding Canyons or the Plains even if he's really mean. He might just get rid of the Graven Cairns. I'm a terrible person. I get rid of the Plains. It's the only white source for our blue-white deck. Or the Academy Ruins. There's a lot of really good non-basics. I obviously want myself to win. That's how Magic works. So I'd like to not have my land killed here, but that's another reason why we didn't play the Slayer Stronghold. Don't get me wrong, we go down a soldier, but we probably just get the Slayer Stronghold immediately killed by this Goblin Gardener. He goes to kill the Academy Ruins. I like it. So we'll have 10 mana next turn. This Breath of Fury does a lot of damage. We can actually just play Breath of Fury and play Captain of the Watch. And... and smile. And smile, I guess. I don't know what we do after that. Just hope our board doesn't get wrathed, really. If it does, it's fine. Echoing Calm. Destroy target enchantment and all other enchantments the same name as that enchantment. This is a lot of enchant removal from a single deck. Which also means that we don't get to kill anybody next turn. Which sucks. I really wanted to kill somebody next turn. It's a lot of enchant removal, actually. I'm very surprised. Do I seem as surprised as I am? Because I'm incredibly surprised. That's okay, though. We have our enchantment, our creature lord coming down next turn that are just going to give all of our soldiers +1/+1. Remember, we don't have access to our commander that was Oblation by the blue-white player as well. Can't do anything about that. We can't do anything about that. Falcon Wrath Marauder. Hey, that's got 2 power. It's cool. It's a 5 mana 2/2 with flying and haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. No blockers because it's not coming my way. We really need haste. If this deck had haste, we'd be so much better off. Oh, we have an instant speed creature at the end of turn. It is a Brimaz. Hey there, Brimaz. Brimaz, King of Oreskos. This is such a great name. 1 white white for a 3/4 with Vigilance. Whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 white cat soldier creature token with Vigilance onto the battlefield attacking. Whenever Brimaz blocks a creature, put a 1/1 white cat soldier creature token with Vigilance onto the battlefield blocking that creature. So it makes a bunch of cats. There's a lot of cards I'm looking out for nowadays. So Modern Masters 2 was just recently released on Magic the Gathering Online. There's a lot of things that actually means for people playing Commander like you and I. This is attacking us? No, neither of them are. Good. One of the main things actually is that a lot of the mythic rares and rares have gone down steeply in price that were really expensive on Magic the Gathering Online. A good example is I just purchased a Cryptic Command for 7, Bitter Blossom for 7, Tezzeret for $2. All this does for 50 cents. Like, the prices are pretty insane right now, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. We can also get a lot of attacks in with these soldiers if we want to this turn by using Breath of Fury. Because our middle player doesn't have blockers, if we were to Breath of Fury one of our soldiers, we would get 6 additional attack phases this turn. 6. I'm debating whether or not it's worth it just to be able to kill our top left player. I don't really think it is. I think we're just mainly just going to go... So there's a lot of different options we have this turn, which you know me, I'll hash them out with you guys so we can figure it out. We're still a little bit more than everybody else on time. We can Karmic Guide back the Hero Bladehold. Give the Hero Bladehold haste and attack this turn. We can just give all of our soldiers +1/+1 and put 2/1/1s into play. I think that's really strong. Our top right opponent's probably just putting into place. Can he even? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can't even put into play his commander this turn at instant speed. So I like that play a lot. It leaves back our Captain of the Watch, Knight Captain of Eos, and Breath of Fury. And I don't think it really overextends us too much. So that's the play I'm going to trend towards here. The Breath of Fury play also really good. We can do it just as well on our following turn. We could also just get Martin, actually. This would give all of our creatures +6/+6. So that would be 7. We could kill our top left player getting back Martin, actually. Martin Stromgold is 2 red. Whenever it attacks, other attack creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn for each attack creature other than Martin. So wait, they all get +6/+6. 7. That would be able to kill our top left player immediately. Which he kind of does deserve to die. You know what? Let's kill somebody this turn. Let's just kill somebody this turn. Welcome to Martin Stromgold, by the way. Unless it gets removed at instant speed from our Brumaz deck. Martin's a hell of a drug. So 2 red. Whenever it attacks, other attacking creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn for each attacking creature other than Martin. So we have a 3/1 here. That's going to attack Healing Karma. Then all of these guys are going to get +6/+6. So that's 7, 14, 21, 25. That's lethal. We can send this at the... Now just send it all this way. He's destroyed every single enchantment we've had. It's worth it. These are all 7/7s. This player is now dead. He oblationed our commander. He erased our Perforos. He destroyed our... He destroyed our Dictator Heliod. I think it's prime time for this player to stop messing with our game. Alright, put GG in time. He's down to -10, and we'll pass. We're going to leave our mana. You know that I'm not one to... I usually like to utilize F8. I would tap out here. But I'm kind of fine leaving up the mana, making our opponents think we have another Swords of Plowshares. Might be a good way to just prevent our opponents from really dealing some damage to us. Of note, Martin Stromgold plus Breath of Fury is as good as you think it is. It's better than you think it is. So if our board stays as it is, we should be able to kill these for our opponents. Should is a very important word. This Alesha deck should have a lot of ways to kill Martin. Staff of Nin kills our Martin Stromgold. Well played. Well played. Good old Staff of Nin. 6 mana, taps to deal 1 damage to a creature player. Sometimes that's all you need, man. Sometimes that's all you need. Ooh, no attacks. Very smart. Very, very, very smart, actually. I like that no attack. That no attack was primo. That was a really, really, really good no attack. Our opponent, our top right player, not flashing in a creature at the end of turn. The 3 cards in his hand might just be lands. They're not lands. He's tapping for stuff. A man can dream, okay? I'm waiting for, like, the Batter Skull. Okay. Is he just casting his commander here? He is just casting his commander here. Okay. The worst part about him casting his commander is his commander has flying. That's about it, really. Brumaz serving in on us. We will block the token with our Karmic Guide. And we'll go down to 29. I'm not going to pay for this Karmic Guide. There's a lot more ways for me to get out of our graveyard than to have use for it being in play. Especially now that both of our opponents have flyers, we can't just Breath of Fury with our Karmic Guide. Cat Sun Zenith, you say? I think we're just going to look to Cat Sun Zenith. So Cat Sun Zenith, or White Sun Zenith, sorry. X triple white instant. Put X 2/2 white cat creature tokens onto the battlefield, then you shuffle this into its owner's library. Yeah, we're just going to look to Cat Sun Zenith. I don't think there's a reason not to. We'll be putting 4, 5, 6, 7 2/2s in the battlefield at the end of turn. We can also play Captain of the Watch. Give our guys +2/+2. and then do nothing with them. I think that's the reason why I'm very okay with just leaving up whites on Zenith here. We could also play Knight Captain of Eos and delay this game for a year and a half. That's an option. If we had access to our commander, we would do so, actually, because our commander could bring back our important creatures and let us win the game. Because our commander's in the middle of our library, we don't have access to our commander, which is what the format's named after, which is why that rule was changed. We can't really utilize it that way. So I'm just going to wait on Cats on Zenith. I think it should be an okay situation by doing so. I also don't really just want to attack everything into healing karma here. Just don't think it's really worth it too much. Like, we would deal him 5 damage, but then... whatever. So, current battlefield, we have, again, an Alesha Who Smiles at Death player. We are also playing Alesha Who Smiles at Death, Oblation put in the middle of our library. The new ruling for tucking a commander will not be live until about the middle of July. July 17th, which is also my birthday. When Magic Origins is released on Magic the Gathering Online. That's the prospective date right now. That is the date they have, like, written down in a journal somewhere. That's the one they're working with, so. That's the one I'll keep repeating until it's proven wrong. How about that? We have a Scholar of Aethios coming down. And an Ambuscade Shaman. 2 and a black for a 2/2. Whenever this or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn as dash for 3 and a black. Actually a pretty cool card to put in this deck with Alesha bringing cards back out of your graveyard. It's a really cool idea. I like this. This is pretty smart. Let's see if the flyer stays back or attacks. I would attack me here because that brings your Falgrath Marauders to a 6/6 who can then hopefully block the Sigarda on the following turn, but everyone plays a little bit differently. There's a couple of cards we're worried about from the Sigarda deck. Again, we know this is a Voltron style build. Something as simple as like a, well, not simple, but something like a Eldrazi Conscription into Daybreak Coronet means we probably lose. Rancor on top. Oracle will die in play. 3 and a green for a 2/2. You may play an additional land each of your turns. Play the top card of your library revealed. You may play the top card of your library if it's a land card. Also, with the Staffinen, we can't attach Breath of Fury to one of our soldiers, because the Staffinen will kill the soldier that it's attached to. That's how that works. Now, what we can do is broker a sign of good faith with our top left player. Let him basically use this Breath of Fury and say, hey, I'm going to send 1 creature your way. Could you not block it? If you don't block it, then the next attack step will be done on the top right player again. Basically get 2 extra attack steps out of Breath of Fury when we don't really deserve to have an extra attack step. Taken, I believe, 10 total damage from the... We've taken 10 total damage from the Sigarda. And a turn, it's time to flood the field with cats. I would like 7 cats, please. That is the amount of cats I deserve. As a card carrying member of the kitty committee, please give me 7 kitties. I require the 7 kitties. Thank you. I wish they were cat soldiers, but they're not. Swamp is okay. Let's start colluding. So I'm going to bring up the private chat with our other Alesha player. Hey there, other Alesha player. So we're basically saying, like, we have Breath of Fury. He says, okay, so that's what we'll do. Is it an ironclad contract? No. We're just going to hope that our opponent is going to let this happen in good faith. So once again, Breath of Fury, 2 red, enchant creature control. When this deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it and attach it to a creature I control. If I do, I untap all creatures I control off this phase or combat phase. We're going to play Captain of the Watch to make our soldiers bigger as well. So this will give all soldiers +1/+1 in vigilance, and it will make 3 soldiers of its own. We will go to attacks, and we'll see if this works. Attack with all creatures at Dancing Skeleton, except for the one with Breath of Fury that will go at the Mardu player. And we'll see if it works. I mean, our opponent can just as easily go, nah, I'm going to block, this is too scary. And I completely understand it. We went for what we had on the board. If he breaks the agreement, he is an oath breaker. But then again, this could also just, like, get destroyed or something. He's going to Beast Within the Captain of the Watch. Sure. Okay. See, I'd be Beast Within this Breath of Fury if I was him. But now all of our 2/2 soldiers are down to 1/1s. Okay, and he has another instant or sorcery. What else do you have? What have you been keeping? I thought this guy just had lands in hand. And he's going to exile the Breath of Fury. Alright. Well, we tried. So he's going to be able to eat 3 of our creatures. He still takes a nice amount of damage. He doesn't really have a crack back on us. Yeah, now it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I had no idea this guy had this much stuff left in his hand. That was very well played on him. I really didn't think he was playing us for that long. We got played, man. We got played. Oh, I could have. He still takes a bunch of damage. Goes down to 26. Now we have to be worried about this Sigarda. If it gets over 10 attack, which it is going to get a Rancor, we're in a bad state. So we really want to be able to resolve this Night Captain of Eos next turn. Smart. The Staff of Nin takes out the Oracle of Moldiah. Because the Oracle of Moldiah had blocked a 1/1. So that's nice. So one of the reasons why I really liked the change to the Tuck rule that was recently put in place. So it used to be if what just happened earlier with the Oblation, if your commander went into your deck, you can now then choose to put in the command zone. That was changed recently by the rules committee to where if your commander is tucked in the middle of your library or put somewhere else, your hand, you can now choose to put it back into the command zone. Is because right now we're playing commander without a commander. And that's very, very, very weird and not really how the game is supposed to be played. Ooh. 4 damage going in on the green-white deck as well. There's a lot of really great draws we have for this deck right now. Something like Fervent Charge is amazing. Heck, even a way to give our... even Alesha would be an amazing draw here. Alesha would be an amazing draw here if we were able to grab one, but just a way to give our creatures haste would be the best. Don't be surprised if that's a Ponyback Brigade just morphed onto the battlefield face now. And a Voltress Aven coming into play too. Voltress Aven 3 in a black for a 2/3 with Fly and Exploit. When it exploits the creature, you draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. He has 2 different 2/2s in his graveyard, Barb Shocker and Goblin Gardener, but nothing he's really missing by not playing Alesha, so. He sacrifices his Scholar of Aetherios to draw 2 and lose 2. Yeah, there's a lot of great cards we can draw here. Eldrazi Monument, sadly, in our graveyard, but what can you do? Well, we can actually do stuff about that, so. Rancor going to go on to the Sigarda. That's 8. He needs an extra 3 power to kill us with it. Is the last card in his hand a way to give this Sigarda 3 power? I sure as hell hope not. No, don't be this good at the game. Ewit? Bringing back Beast Within. Okay, that does not kill us. Good job, us. We're not dead. But it does get back Beast Within, which will be able to destroy a permanent like our Night Captain of Eos. So. Taking 7 commander damage here. We now need a way to kill this player without using permanents. Should be fun enough. 7 damage going at our face. That's 17 total commander damage. Let's see what we draw. Bog isn't what we need. We have nothing we can utilize in our graveyard. We're just gonna attack this player with everything. Hope that he uses Beast Within on like a creature. We might be able to bait out a Beast Within the Slayer Stronghold. Maybe. Yeah, he might try and save his Brimaz. 2, 4, 6 plus 8 is not enough. We'll see if we can bait out the Beast Within with this activation on Slayer Stronghold. There we go. Wait, no. Whoops, I almost messed that up. There we go. Let's keep Brimaz right there. I like to give this guy +2/+0, so eat your Brimaz, please. And then I hope you Beast Within it for some reason. Crossing the fingers. Ah, man. Oh, well. Ah! Killed one of our soldiers. The monster. Wait, why would you kill one of the soldiers so I'm dead to general damage? Ah, whatever. Doesn't matter. He's down to 6. Main phase 2. We'll bog him. Play Knight Captain. Huh, actually, this is kind of funny. And by kind of funny, I mean really funny. Because we know the last card in his hand is Beast Within. The Falcon Wrath Marauder. Let's see what our opposing Mardu player does this turn. Traveling Plague. At the beginning of each upkeep, put a plague counter on it. Enchanted creature is -1/-1 for each plague counter on it. When enchanted creature leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller returns Traveling Plague from its graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. Are you planning on leaving me around? I would prefer that. What are you doing over there? What are you doing over there, Alesha player? Sandstep Outcast coming into play. What are you up to? He's just going to attack for 6. I really hope this guy does attack for 6 in the air over here. If he does, we have a chance of winning this game. If he doesn't, then we lose. Because our opponent will just Beast Within our Knight Captain of Eos, and then we lose. Because he's just got to deal us general damage. And then he loses anyway, so... It's a really weird position for our opposing Alesha player. I think he's probably just not going to attack. Let our opponent Beast Within our Knight Captain and then pass. He does. Okay. What? Oh, man, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I'll take every mistake. This is great. Awesome. So we get to live for another turn? That should not have happened. So Knight Captain, I can sack a soldier, print all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. I will do exactly that. I'll sacrifice one of these nerdy looking soldiers. I'm now not dead to general damage. Good try. Your last card in hand is Beast Within. I can kill you now. This should not have happened. We'll be losing our Knight Captain of Eos. You played a good game, friend. I get to remove this traveling I get to return this to another creature I control. Just kind of funny. I would like to... Oh, onto an opposing creature, too. Hey. Let me put this onto your Ambuscade Shaman, please. That does nothing for us. We're just going to kill our top right player right now. He's got a Beast Within in hand. We know his last card. We can just send 8 soldiers this way. He can block one, Beast Within the other, and he's still dead. That's our goal. That's 8 guys going this way. Do we want to send the cats in? We can send the cats in our top left player also. He can block with the Marauders. Well, we can send the Beast in. Let's just leave these guys back right now. It makes a copy of non-legendary creatures, so we'll make a copy of this Beast after the... we'll also send at least 2 of these. I know there isn't a way... Well, yeah, the Staff of Nin could have saved him, actually. So we also have to send in the cats. Because he could have Staff of Nin one of our dudes, Beast in other dudes, and blocked one, and he would have been alive. Now he's 100% dead. And we got a turn we did not deserve. He definitely needed to Beast Within our Knight Captain of EOs. So we are doing a lot better than we were before. He may just Beast Within like our Slayer Stronghold for fun. He just concedes. I will take it. Nice. All right, Mardu tokens versus Mardu. Mardu on Mardu. Mono, I guess. I don't know. Word how you want it. End of combat. Main phase 2. Red, red. Red. Black, black. Play Kiki. The Kikis of the Jikis on the battlefield. He's going to kill one of our soldiers. You got it. Another time where I really wish. Alright. A plague counter going on to the Ambuscade Shaman. He's going to draw an extra card. So we got to try and get out from under Staff of Nin. Okay. Good luck, us. Mardu a Mardu. One Alesha enters, one Alesha leaves. A Ration Foremost coming into play. Don't be a warrior. Ah, shoot. That's bad. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, another target warrior creature you control gains double strike on a turn. So that's 12. Does he have enough to kill us just with this? No way. So we've got a turn to be able to kill this guy. Because we're taking... No, we're taking... Oh, are we dead? Actually, this is 6, 8, 16. We go to... We're dead. Man! That was a good draw. He got us. So, this is how... Yeah, we're dead. We're actually just dead. That's amazing. Good game. Good game indeed. Staff of Nin, man. Pulled some heavy duty that game. Ah, Instigator Gang. Was that enough? It was a Pony Back Brigade. So we put 3 more guys into play. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He has 8. Make 2 of those guys. Attack with all my attack creatures get +2/+0. No, attack with both. Oh god, it's so close. I think we could win that game next turn. Oh, that was close. Oh well. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. That's okay. I mean, we shouldn't have been given that turn. We definitely shouldn't have been given that turn. So that was our Alesha deck. This was the, again, the token version. There is still the sort of reanimated version. It's really hard to play without Reveillark and Karmic Guide, especially in a deck that has so many creatures that we just would love to bring back. Hell Riders, Marsh Flitters, Brutal Horde Chiefs as well. We have enough 2-power creatures in this deck that we can definitely reanimate them with Alesha. We have a lot of 2-power creatures also give us tokens, which I think is very important. We got some savage beats there, but I think we still showcased how this deck functions as a Mardu token deck. There's actually a card I love putting in the forefront here, which is Fervent Charge. 1 white, black, red for an enchantment. Whenever a creature I control attacks, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This also works very well with multiple attack steps, which is pretty cool. So it makes cards like Breath of Fury a lot better, but cards like Hellrider or Brutal Horde Chief a lot better as well. So I really do like this deck. I think you should definitely check it out. The list will be in the description. But I thought that game was actually pretty cool. We did some pretty interesting things that game, and I really liked how it turned out. Even though we lost, it was still fun. I think that's the coolest part about EDH. Every single player got to really play out how their deck wanted to play. The fish deck got to be a fish deck, and also exiled all of our enchantments, which is kind of funny. The green-white Voltron deck got to be green-white Voltron. Almost got there, but he made a little bit of a misplay that made it so he didn't get there. And then our opposing Mardu deck, which was just Warriors? I don't know what it was. It was definitely another Mardu deck. Also got to do what it wanted to do, which is great. That's one of my favorite parts about EDH is that I still had a good time even though I lost, and I got to see what my opponents were building, and everything was pretty interesting and a pretty different take on what they were trying to do. So that was pretty cool, I think, at least. So I hope you had some fun. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you again soon. If you didn't know, if you just watched the YouTube channel, you didn't know I actually have a Twitch stream as well that has a bunch of EDH content. A lot of EDH content on there. I stream a nice amount. Definitely a substantial, I think, is the correct adjective. Definitely going to go with substantial. That's going to be twitch.tv/mtgradio. If you're like, hey, you haven't posted a video in 3 months, which can happen on the YouTube channel, you should definitely just check the Twitch. I've made sure that all of my streams are archived and saved as videos on demand. I know the Twitch VOD service isn't that great, but they're there if you want to check them out, so I would definitely suggest doing so. And I just switched from my older layout, which had chat on screen, to this layout, which doesn't have chat on screen, which will give you a better view of the board and will make it a lot easier to see what the cards do and are. So I hope you have some fun. I hope you had some fun with this game, and I hope to see you again.